Good grief, I think I'm late. Or just on time. Oh my, 8:01. That's unlike me. The trains usually run on time here. I think it's okay to be 60 seconds late. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the 1925 bungalow. I'm Scott, and I'm broadcasting from the dining room. One of these days, we'll be in the back room again, with the bookcase and all the old radios behind me. I have to tell you, the main reason why I've not been back in there, that is the coldest room in the house. The coldest room. And we know how cold it's been. Anyway, it's just been warmer out here in the dining room. That room back there is where the staircase is that goes up to the attic. And anyway, it's just a very cold room. But here I am, here I'm is. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad to have you here tonight at the Monday Night Live sale. There was no preview today. It's all going to be a surprise. But I have a typical variety of items tonight, which I'm happy to say. I'm very excited about what I've got. I'm surrounded by it. I just found a Victrola on the street in Brooklyn. Thinking of radio adjacent. Yeah. They did that. And they started doing it fairly early on with some pretty expensive cabinets. But so that could be anywhere from the 20s on up. On the streets in Brooklyn. I'm so glad you're here tonight. I hope everyone is doing well, and I want to thank you for joining me. I did something today that I have not done in decades. I went to a laundromat. No, my washer and dryer are not broken. But it was time to take all the blankets and the throws and the quilts and the coverlets and all of that big stuff that you'd have been all day in a washing machine and a dryer. And went to a laundromat, a great, where they have those big machines, it's like $6. I hadn't done that since college days. It was fun. But I needed help because, man, those machines have changed. Anyway, I'll let you in on a secret. Now, this is mostly for us men. I have discovered that, when a man is sort of doing something that he might not normally do, not that men aren't supposed to do laundry. That's not what I mean. But all I had to do was play dumb. And this lady, you might have thought I gave her $100. She wouldn't let me go. She said, come here. I really did need help. Now, I know how to work a washing machine, but those big industrial things with like ABC in the top, like what's ABC? The American Broadcasting Corporation? She said, no. A is your pre-wash. I said, well, the stuff isn't dirty. It just needs to be freshened up. Midwinter freshening up of all the blankets. Not dirty. I'm not wasting my money on pre-wash. I said, What's B? She said, now B is what, not at this laundromat, they didn't take credit cards. It was quarter after quarter after quarter. Anyway, she said, well, all right. Put your detergent in. Then she said, now go over to the sink and rinse out that little bottle. I said, you know what? My grandmother used to do that with like ketchup bottles or mustard jars. If there was a tiny little bit left in it, that's that old depression, you know. You went to the kitchen sink and put water in it and got it out. So she said, now go rinse that out. I said, you must have had a mother that came from the Depression. She said, I sure did. Anyway, she showed me how to do everything, and she was wonderful. So that took a while. But anyway, not that a man isn't supposed to do laundry. That's not what I meant, and you know that. But I meant, you know, she knew that this wasn't something that I typically did. She was very helpful. She wouldn't let me go. That's what I did this afternoon. Your mother wiped out the inside of eggshells? Why? For what reason? I'm just curious. Hi, Donna. Good to see you too. Yeah, I rinse everything. I mean, you have to rinse things out to recycle. We have very strict recycling in New Jersey, taking off labels, rinsing things, and that the trash doesn't stink. But this is because you might be able to get a little bit of horseradish out of that jar. Go put water in it and shake it up. You know, that's... Anyway, enough about all of that. I'm just killing a minute or two. Some of you do that as well. Yeah. So we've got all fresh throws, fresh blankets, fresh quilts, you know, all of that linens and things that we've been buried under for the last month. No, but I was wondering why someone else mentioned Sparkle Munge said that my mother wiped out the inside of eggshells. So Sparkle, why did your mother use them for composting, or was there some other reason why she rinsed them out? The snow is melting gradually. Finally, we have not had this type of Arctic snow cover since decades and decades. So it doesn't bother me at all. Everybody says, oh, I'm so sick of that snow. It doesn't bother me any. I mean, I like it. I think it's pretty. It's better than looking at dead grass. So I like looking at it. It's starting to melt, but boy, parking lots are still a mess. Ignore the clock as usual. Oh, I've got some depression glass, some nice elegant glass. I've got candlesticks, EAPG. Items from the 30s, Heisey, a piece of silver plate, an actual piece of English silver. Now, this is President's Day in America. Snow don't bother me. There you go, Helen. I'm with you on that. It doesn't bother me at all. Now, see, I lost my... I can't read. I'm trying to get in sync. I got a weird ad. Well, I didn't send it to you. It depends on what you Google, Karen Williams. Karen just said she got a weird ad. I don't know what you're Googling. I don't choose the advertisements. This is President's Day, right? Here in the USA. I have a piece of English silver, sterling silver. And we'll show it to you when I sell it, or attempt to sell it. And it reminds me of something that belonged to one of our early 20th century presidents. I'm not going to tell you any more. It doesn't remind me of a piece of silver that he owned. It reminds me of a piece of furniture that was in the White House specifically for him. you're sitting there going, how can a piece of English silver remind you of a piece of furniture that was made specifically for an early 20th century president? Aha! That's called a hook. I have just hooked you. So you're going to have to just wait and see. No, it is not President Roosevelt's wheelchair. But that was a good guess. Kathy has little to do. All right. If you're old and you know what you're doing. If you're new, we love you too. And if you're uncertain, watch the first couple of rounds to get the hang of it. It's not that difficult. Thank you, Karen Williams, moderator, extraordinary moderator, who always does a fantastic job. And I'd like to give her a round of applause and thank her. I'd like to thank all of you, whether you're here watching just because there's nothing else on the television set, or if you are actually thinking of buying something. And since I didn't do a preview today, it's all going to be a big surprise. How come I haven't been putting out any videos? Because there ain't been nothing in the thrift shops. I don't think anybody is barely getting out of their houses. They might start tomorrow. I think we're going to be in the 40s somewhere. So hopefully the harbinger is that we're going to have a great thrifting springtime. I have been going out to the thrift stores, but I am not one to just turn on the camera and walk up and down the aisles and say, oh, look, there's a piece of something from the dollar store. It just doesn't excite me to make videos like that. So I haven't been able to video for you because it's been slim pickings. I don't know about where you are. Yeah, there's a new, they get a shield instead of a wrench. That's YouTube doing that, not me. I don't know why they do that. They just do stuff. I got one too. Okay. Again, I don't know anything about the, and I think you guys know that. I don't know what the advertisements are. I don't choose them. I don't put them. As I said, I have YouTube Premium, so I never see an ad. I don't ever see any. I used to, but I don't. When you say weird ad, what is weird? And then someone said, I got one too. Can you explain weird? I mean, not that I can do anything about it. I'm just curious. Maybe you don't want to tell me. You know, it might be some type of topical solution for an embarrassing bathroom problem. I don't know. So maybe you don't want to tell me. Went to Mazza's Antiques in Hamilton yesterday. Oh, Hamilton, New Jersey. Yes. Marie, I'm going to tell you what. If that Santa Claus doesn't get to your house this week, I'm giving you your money back. Because if Santa Claus walks in here right now, I would set his beard on fire. Because I've checked the tracking number and I think he's stuck. Scott, see my comment? Scott, this is a problem not in the middle. Scott, this is a problem not in the middle of you talking. I don't know what that means. Sorry, I'm not following. Kathy Mentor, I didn't send you an invoice because I don't have your information. I have 2 mentors, Kathy, and you're not the one that I have. I'm glad I just saw that. During a sale, not good. Okay. I don't know what my sales have been monetized for a long time. If you're seeing ads, I have not touched it. I don't know what, I'm not putting ads in. I didn't touch anything. So don't blame me. And I didn't get any message from YouTube saying that they did anything. So I can't, what do I say? So Kathy, yeah, it's not, you have to understand, I don't do it. It's YouTube, not Scott. Nothing he can do, right? It's not me. Did you know what? YouTube even monetizes channels. YouTube even puts commercials in channels that aren't monetized. Those people don't just get any money. So, so whoever that Minter, you won the other night when I said I've got your information. What was I going to tell you? I have 2 people with that last name, and I searched and searched and searched for you, Kathy, but you're not in there. So can you send me your information again? I'm so glad. Thank you, thank you, thank you, because then that way I can get that invoice to you. That was the only one, and it was probably my fault because during the sale I said I had your information, but now I have 2 people with your last name, and the one I had was, see, that's true. I'm not monetized yet. YouTube puts in ads. You see? Thank you, Florida Golden. It's not always what everybody thinks. So if you'll do that, that'll be great. YouTube has started dropping ads in the middle of live things, and it's really annoying. You're going to have to complain to YouTube about that, folks. Again, please don't blame us, the whatever we are. Scott always allows to lag. Okay. If you don't want to see the ads, I think you have to pay for YouTube Premium. That's what I do. I don't know how much it is, $9. Let's move on. So I guess I can't think. All right, so if you're new, what I'll need from you is just to make sure that you send me all that information. It's not bothering me any, Lisa. I mean, I can't. Yeah. Or stop using YouTube. Well, I can't do that. What? I pay to no ads. There you go, Judy. That's the best $9 a month. I don't know what it is. It's $9. But I don't pay. I'm not one that pays for a lot of things like streaming and things. So your husband, you share. Oh, my husband and I share an email, but I will resend information no matter what. Good, because I searched under Minter, couldn't find anything that related to you and the item that you want. So Kathy, thank you so very much. I appreciate it greatly. Okay, let's move on. If you are new, I'll need, if you win something tonight, I will need your full name, your home address, and please don't forget to tell me whether you have a YouTube account or not. Most people forget to do that. And I've got to have your email address. The email address from which you're writing may or may not be the one that you used when you created your PayPal account. So go back and double check and make sure that it's complete. And so then that way, you know, I don't miss you and you don't miss me. So. And happy Monday to you, Robin Boyd. I'm just catching a couple of the comments. Now we're going to go ahead and get started. So I understand, Karen, and we'll just have to see what's going on. We're going to start at $8 for the first item. And I thought all my friends took off. But guess what? Starting at $8 is a Fire King mug. And boy, I put like $40 worth of seed out there, and guess who was out there? He was, and he was. Or she was, and she was. And my squirrels. It was so funny to watch 2 squirrels, a pair of blue jays, a robin, and a bunch of those little finch things. Oh, they were tearing it up. I took a big old cookie sheet out there and thought, let me put the seed, some of that on that. I filled the bird bath. They were jumping up and down. The bird bath was, of course, covered in ice. But yeah, Junkos. They were jumping up and down, and shipping is not included. You have to pay for the shipping. So we're looking for an opening bid on the Fire King mug. Oh, I am ready to sit out there on the porch and see my Tweeties. But anyway, take care of the critters. I had all kinds of things out there. And boy, they've been out there just having a fit. So we have the cardinal on one side and the blue jay on the other. Anyone interested in an $8 on the Fire King mug? We're gonna, we move it fast here. And if we don't get any bids, we do a hard stop. So don't wait. I'll throw that hard stop in there. If you're waiting, I'm not trying to, but so if you're interested, throw a bid in of 8. And if not, we'll get ready to put the hard stop. No tips, no cracks. This is 1960s. It does have the Fire King logo on the bottom with the anchor and the H. So we know, I forget, I used to have those dates memorized. It's 60s into the 70s even. And it's in really good condition. Okay. Lisa, so do we. It's comical. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you. So we have a opening bid of $8, and we'll count this down. Anybody else interested, just jump right in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on. I love the little hat they wear. They look like Robin Hood. I think they know they have that hat on. That little hat. I think they both wear it. Yeah. Okay. Oh, goodness. All right. Get over there. There's the stop, and the first item is sold at $9. And I don't know if I know Nana B 1967. Doesn't sound familiar. Nana, if I don't know you, would you go ahead and send me your information, please? NAN. NANA NNB 1967. So Nana, or I'm sorry, and it went away. So to you, 1967. If I don't know you, would you go ahead and send your information, and I'll check my email at 9 o'clock, make sure you and I are connected. It's already almost 8:30. All right. At $20, I have an EAPG stein. Now, I think we're going to start at 20. I think it's European and not American, but I do believe it to be antique. No, it is antique. I think it might be European. Karen and I both could not find this one on the database. One reason why it might be is that it's etched up here 1/2 liter. Now, I don't know if you'll see it, but it's in really old script. It's right there. And it has an original top, which is pewter. And it's on there. It's pinched on there just the way that it's supposed to be. And I don't know if this was for commercial use or home use, but there's a great deal of scuffing and all kinds of wear on the bottom of it, which is just wonderful. This thing has seen a lot of use, and I wish I could get you to see right here. It's etched, it's acid etched, and it says 1/2 liter. So I don't know enough about libations of this period to know if we were using liter in the United States in the, let's say, 1880s to 1910. I don't know that for a fact. And I was thinking maybe it was European, but it has a really pretty pewter lid on the top, as you can see, and it's on there. And it's pinched on there just the way it's supposed to be. But you see how it says 1.5 liter? But there you go. Right there, 1.5 liter. It might be showing up backwards. I know metric happened in the 70s. I'm aware of that because I was in elementary school in the 70s and despised trying to learn the metric system. I don't know if an American-made piece would have said 1/2 liter in the 1890s. I wasn't drinking then. I'm not drinking now. I mean, like beer. But There it is. Norma, Patsy M has the high bid now of 23, and we'll count this wonderful 1.5 liter antique EAPG, whether it's American or European, who knows? Might be English. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on that. I love that thing. And to find it with that pewter lid on the top, oh boy. That doesn't happen every day. I believe the etching is original to it. The stop is in, and Norma Kurtz has it at 28. And I thank you, Norma. Buffalo China, $15. It's got one chip on the rim right there, but that's it. That's nice. It's an oversized, probably was for soup. I don't know that as a fact, but it is Blue Willow. And it was made by the Buffalo China Company, semi-vitreous, and it says there on the bottom. If I remember correctly, Buffalo China started business in 1901. This is the Blue Willow pattern. It looks like a miniature chamber pot, actually. And it also says, "Take ye cup o' kindness for auld lang syne." And that's what we see in here on the inside. So there's the Blue Willow pattern. And this is made in America, not China, the country. But this is Buffalo pottery, semi-vitreous Buffalo pottery. See there, marked. And as I said, I believe, if memory serves, they started their business at around 1901. And we've got one little chip right there. But how about your soup in that? You know, we like big for a small bum. That's right. I better leave it right there. I better leave it. I started to say something, but I thought, you better leave it right there. Okay, Patsy, I don't want to go off the rails before 9 o'clock. Anyway, where are all of my Blue Willow folks? When was the last time you saw one of those? You know, sometimes we like larger portions now than in the olden days, but there's a nice big one. It's crazed, of course, isn't it always? But it's not stained. You know, it doesn't have all that brown food stain. We have an opening bid now. Now we're up to $20. So everybody hit refresh. Charette. Susan Hood has our high bid now of 20 on the antique American made, not English, Blue Willow pattern. Nice, generous size. That is a big O cup O coffee or soup or what have you. Or if you have a tiny bum, maybe it is a chamber pot. 10, our high bid right now is 20, and we shall count it down. 10, 9, 8. I don't know about shaving. If it was for shaving, it's big. Most of the men's shaving mugs that I've seen are not quite as big as that. This is pretty big, but I don't know exactly what they had in mind when they manufactured it. So I guess if you got a lot of hair, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of, I would think that would be a little bit big as a shaving mug, but perhaps it is. Perhaps. No, you stay down there and don't bother me. Cup o' kindness. Yeah, I kind of think Is that ginger ale in the green glass? No, it is not. It is sparkling grapefruit. The stop is in, and Susan at 22. Susan Hood at 22, I believe. Thank you, Susan. And we have 309 folks with us tonight, and I'm delighted. At $23, we have an Art Deco frame. I said I was not going to sell this, and here I am selling it. It is a lovely one. No, that's not an original picture of Betty Davis, and no, that is not her autograph. The only issue with this frame, and it starts at $23, is that the flap on the back is gone. I won't say 9 times out of 10 they are, maybe 5 times out of 10 they are. You'll have to fashion something so that it will stand up. Easy fix. I've done it myself 20 million times. It's reverse painted glass, and I did polish the chrome here, 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 and here. Now, the size of it, we'll take a 5.5 by 3.5. Do you have a 5.5 by 3.5 picture of a relative of yours from the 1930s? Perfect. Now, this is how it came from the store. And in those days, they put stars pictures in there, not like generic people. And that's just been left in there because it's connected to the back. So that's that. So when you put your picture in, you put your picture there, you fold this shut. Betty Davis stays in there, but she's hiding. I love these. That stays with it because that's how it was purchased. That's the way these frames were sold in those days. They did put movie stars and radio stars inside. It's glued in there. It stays with it. But you can see it's a cream color with gold and black, and it is not chipped or scratched. And it's just a lovely example from the Art Deco era. Christina has our high bid of 23, and we shall count this down. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on the Art Deco picture frame. What am I going to do with you? I'll put you over here by the birds. And the deco frame is on its way to, I don't think I wrote that down yet. The stop is in. Lisa, no, Florida Golden has it at 47. Florida Golden has it at 47. And Florida Golden, girl. Thank you, Florida Golden. I appreciate that. Have the iguanas stopped falling out of the trees? Poor things, I hope so. Now, the next start is $5. $5. We're going to start $5. I've got 8. The winner can have as many as they want times their money up to 8. So we're selling 1. Let's get this straight. I've got 8 of them, but you're bidding $5 for 1. So keep that in mind. If you're interested in 4 of them or 6 of them or 8 of them, whatever the high bid will be, if you're the high bidder, we will multiply that by how many that you want. They're chip-free, crack-free, and you know what they are. Jeanette cubed. No! Fostoria American. Cups and saucers. Most popular pattern ever. 1915 to 1980 something. I've got 5 of them. So I've got 8 of them. There's one. I'm not going to show you all 8. There's another one. Is this your pattern? Do you need 1 or 2 for Easter? Now's your chance to pick them up. As soon as we see an opening bid, then we'll go ahead and if we get one, then we'll count them down. So you're bidding on 1 up to 8. Yeah. Times. So Patsy knows that she's just put in a $5 bid. And if she wins, she can have 1 of them for $5 or 8 of them at 5 times 8. You get the idea. They're not chipped. They're not cracked. They're not dishwasher damaged. And they're ready. The cups and saucers are ready for you. And you know how to tell whether it's Fostoria or Jeanette. Even with your eyes closed, you do this. Just like that. Watch me. Just like that. Smooth as a kitten's ear. Not the Jeanette. Not that there's anything wrong with Jeanette Cubed, but they didn't fire polish their glass. The high bid right now is $6, and we'll count them down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Is somebody at my back door? I hope not. If they are, they're going to have a long wait. The stop is in. Patsy M wins at $7. And Patsy, you just tell me how many you would like. Up to 8 of them. So if you want all 8, what does TWHS stand for? I don't know what that is. So Patsy will just tell us how much she wants. What's 7 times 8? 48? I did not like my multiplication tables. I still don't like my multiplication tables. When you start doing that to glass in the store, you get strange looks. Well, people do that anyway. You got all 8 of them. So it's 8 times 7, Patsy, and they're coming your way. What is 8 times 7? Kidding. Patsy's hoping I don't know my multiplication tables. Okay. 1930s refrigerator water jug. Made by the Universal Cambridge. Okay, really 1940s. Every time I find them, no lid. Well, not every time, because obviously I found one, and this time it has its lid. This starts at $23. Oops, that happens. Sometimes I would just glue the cork back on. It has a few glaze cracks on it, like pottery. You know, the piece itself isn't cracked, but you know how the pottery gets when it gets crazed. So these were meant for refrigerators. And again, there's the, I just pulled the stopper out, which is the original stopper, and the cork sort of came off. Glue the cork back on, I suppose. But there it is. So from the refrigerator to the table, yeah. And 1930s and 1940s, and this is the Universal Cambridge, I think. Made in the United States of America, Universal Cambridge. Ooh, excuse me. Oven proof. Not that you'd be sticking that in your oven. But it's very 40s, and it's got, I'm going to go out on a limb. I might regret this. Are they chrysanthemums? Probably not. But they're pretty flowers. And so purdy, it is purdy. Oh, 357. Maybe we'll hit 400. Are they chrysanthemums? Well, shut my mouth. Oh, they're zinnias. See? Well, Robin Boy told me they were chrysanthemums. Maybe she was saying yes to something else. Anyway, let's count it down. The high bid is, I forget. Well, I guess Rising Phoenix has their high bid of 23. And we'll count them down. Again, I love these water jugs from the 40s, and they tilt, but it's really fun to find them with their tops. Don't blame you. Well, then who are you saying yes to? There he is, blaming his audience again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Decorative and useful. Like me. All right. Oh, there's a rubber band on the floor. Okay, I don't know how that got down there. I don't usually deal in rubber bands. Oh my gosh, I've got to go way back up. Was it Rising Phoenix? Where are you? Yep, it's you at 23. All right, Miss Rising Phoenix. What was that? Oh. Okay. 15 bucks. Hager, pottery. The only issue is there's one little glazed chip at the bottom, and it really isn't. There might have been a bubble that burst. In fact, it looks like it was maybe a burst bubble, but this kind of thing happens. So it's not so much a chip in the pottery as it is a chip in that glaze. So there might have been a burst bubble. There's the Hager sticker on the bottom. What a pretty green color. So I'm still finding, I thought I had all the pottery. Did you see my big pottery extravaganza? And all of that is in the mail. This is 6.5 inches tall. 6.5 inches tall. And it starts at 15. It's a pretty Hager green urn-shaped planter. And we're looking for someone to start us out at $15. We talked a little bit about Hager the other day, just north of Chicago. I know there's a lot of it out there in that part of the country where the factory was. And it's nice to have a factory label on the bottom. The all red cardinal is male. I think he might be hit Donna Lopez 5727. Hit refresh. Matches your shirt. Yes. Okay, no interest. I'm going to put it away. Here we go with a hard stop. Get that stop ready, Karen. You know me, I like to move. I don't have anything else. There's nothing else. How old? I don't know. 40s, 50s, well, probably mid-century. Probably 40s, 50s, 60s, about like that. 1940s, 1950s, 60s, somewhere in that. Maybe before the 60s. It might be 30s, 40s, 50s. 80s, 90s. I don't know. No. I don't know how long it's been since they've been using that label. Do I have a Hager book? I do. Let's count it down. 10, 9. Thank you for asking. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Yeah, you guys can talk about the birds, but we left the birds about 15 minutes ago, so I don't know. I want to make sure that sometimes people Do you know if you pause it, go to the bathroom and come back in, it does not pick up live where you can't just hit unpause. You'll be, not you, but anybody. I had to learn that too. You gotta hit play again or you'll be 20 minutes behind. All right, the Hager pot. And next up is my President's Day piece of silver. Somebody's going to get this. I can't wait to see who gets it. I will, okay, $25. And you are new to me, and I appreciate that. So Husky Foster Fail, would you go ahead and email me? And there was somebody else. It was Wana Nana B 1967. We need to go and see if, well, it is going to commercial every 10 minutes tonight. Laugh out loud. That's something new. Congratulations, Karen Williams. Stop. Husky, you have purchased before, but not from eBay. From, thank you. It's as long as it was from a live sale. It's just that I don't remember your name, so it might have been a long time ago. Let me write it down. Husky. So once again, in case anybody's just coming in, you know I have nothing to do with commercials. I need to say that again. If you're seeing a lot of commercials, I didn't do that. I don't do that. I don't have control over that. eBay is, or YouTube is doing something. I'll have to get into, yes, the lives. Okay, no problem. Husky Foster. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, Husky, thank you. See, now let me go to my trash can because I don't have, no. So if you're still here, I don't have an email from you. And that would be my very first winner at the very beginning of the show. The Fire King mug went to Nana, N-A-N-A-N-N-B 1967. I've not received an email from you, so would you try that again? And I did check my trash can, but I don't have anything from you, and I'll need to hear from you tonight during the sale. Understood, but YouTube doing this is going to lose live sales. Okay, so you know what? I will tomorrow go into I can email and get help from YouTube to try to find out. So everybody just like take a breath, pull back. Ooh, it'll be all right. And I'll see if I can get some information as to why that's happening. But if it's happening to me, it's probably happening to other people as well. What piece of furniture from the White House does that remind me of? I just want to know who thinks the way I think. An early 20th century president had something in his bathroom that looked like that. Karen, we're going to start at $29. This is a piece of English silver, not silver plate. Yeah, but whose bathtub? President Taft. That's right. Doesn't that look like President Taft's bathtub? Although his was porcelain. This is a piece of English silver. It has all of its hallmarks, which are the rampant lion, which means silver. Next, there's an anchor. And the anchor is going to tell us what part of Britain, where in England it was made. And then the mark after that is very hard to see. And then there are little, you know how the English hallmark everything. And all the hallmarks are down here, including the word sterling. So probably a little sauce dish. I don't know how old it is. I believe it to be antique. I am not a silver connoisseur, but it is English hallmarked sterling silver. So again, as I said, you've got the lion and then the anchor. which tells us where, and then whatever else comes after that, then there's all these numbers, and then the word sterling. So I love it. Karen Taylor has her high bid of 32. So are you still here, my winner of the Cardinal and the Blue Jay mug? Yeah, little sauce dish. A little you know, very lightweight, which is what you expect from silver plate, you know, because it's not from silver. I'm sorry, from sterling, not from plate. Yeah, with the 4 feet. I love this little thing. I was excited when I was able to get it home. When I bought it, I thought, I think this is sterling, you know, because it was so light. And then I got it home. It just has that sterling look to it. And I got it in the light, and there I could see, you know, all the marks on the bottom. And was, ooh, I don't often find sterling, but I kind of usually don't spend a whole lot of time in the sterling aisle. I don't know. I mean, in the, you know, silver plate aisle. Let's go ahead and count down this piece of antique, but I don't know when it was made, sterling, English. I'll just call it a little sauce server, perhaps. I could sit down with a bowl of oyster crackers, and this filled with horseradish. Not that horseradish mayonnaise, the thick, like kosher horseradish that we get up here so at all of our markets. Oh, it's so good. Clear your sinuses. Oh, you just sent the email. Okay, Nana, I'll check it. Thank you, darling. Counting it down. 10, 9, 8, 7. Florida has the high bid at 60. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on the 4-footed English hallmarked silver sauce serving tray. And we'll wait for the stop. And I have your information. I do have PayPal. Thank you so much. I'm new to your channel. Oh, I am delighted. Okay, and I have your real name, which I will not divulge to the public. And I got your email. So that mug is coming to your state. Thank you so much for sending me your email. We are connected. The stop is in, and I'll need some help here, Miss Williams. I think it's, oh, it went away. Where is it? Yay, Florida. Yay, FGG. Is that Florida Golden Girl? It's Florida Golden at 80. Florida Golden, it's yours. And I thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone. Florida Golden. And happy President's Day, if I didn't say it already. I told you we had another piece of, now this one is silver plate. It is a beautiful antique silver plated, yeah, ladle. This starts at $20, and it is Rogers, 12 ounce. It's heavy, 12 ounces. And I'll let you see how pretty it is. Now, this is not sterling. It's silver plate, but it's got a patent date on it. Let me tell you what the patent date is. The patent date is on the back. This is where it says Rogers, 12 ounces, and then the 2 anchors, which is their trademark. And then there's a patent date right here. Yep. And this lovely antique ladle starts at $20. And the patent date is June the 8th, 1897. So when was this made? Sometime after 1897. You thought I was going to say Rogers Brothers 1840, whatever that date is that they always, that's not the same as patent dates, right? So that date that you always see on Rogers Brothers silver, what is it, 1847? I forget. But a lot of people see that and they go, ooh, that's from 1847. But this date has the word patent in front of it, and it's got the month, the day, and the year. So that's different. So on this piece, we know that this design was patented on, they filed and they received a patent. Well, we don't know when they filed it, but they received it on June the 8th of 1897. I love that. You can go right back to a point in history. So, Kathy Minter has our, and Kathy, you're my music box. Yeah. Let's count this down. And Kathy, are you going to write to me again so I can make sure I have you? Because I know you said you and your husband share an account, but if you'll write to me again, so I think it was the music box was the thing that I couldn't get to you because of, I couldn't find it, the address. We'll count this down. The high bid right now is 28 with Ann Heinrichs, and I'm counting it down now. 10, very lovely, antique silver plate, patented in 1897. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I think Lizzie was acquitted in June of 1893. I think it was the year after the horrible tragedy. What am I going to do with this? You think I'd... All right. I'll do that with it. Woo. The stop is in, and Patsy has it at 33. The ladle. Okay, Patsy M. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Starting at, it's 9 o'clock. I did a few minutes, and yes, the music box. Okay, Kathy, let me go into my email and see. Let me just make sure I got you. So I don't know. Let me go to trash. I don't see you anywhere. Let me go into the trash can and see. Could you possibly be in my trash can? I don't see why you would be. It's nice to know that my Kohl's Rewards coupon ends today. I don't even shop at Kohl's. So I don't see it, but I don't see you in spam. No, not trash can. I don't see you in spam. Let me go to the inbox. Sometimes it takes a minute. We'll wait. That's not you. That's not you. No, I'm not seeing it yet. Just if you can double check and just make sure that you've got old curiosity shop 99@gmail.com. It might just be taking an extra minute to get here, but it's not in the inbox or in the spam, but we'll check it again. Now I've got a toaster and it starts at $35. Now look, when I sell a toaster, $35. I guarantee you, because I like to tinker. You need fingers tonight? Okay. Was I not giving you the finger? I mean, I don't give people the finger. Was I not doing the 5, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? When I sell a toaster, this starts at $35. Does it work? please, please, please. Does it work? Would I sell a non-working toaster? Yes, I'm going to plug it in. Took it all apart. Unscrewed everything. Cleaned it. Was in that kitchen for 2 hours and loved every minute of it because I am a tinkerer. Now, I don't replate things. I want them to look the way they're supposed to look. It's perfectly clean. I've eaten toast from it. And you can absolutely use this bad boy. It's brown. It's dark here from the heat, but I completely took it apart. It's a universal, and its patent date is July the 28th, 1914. You also get a wonderful old cord. Thank you, Florida, for saying that. I appreciate that. You bought an old toaster from me and works like a kitten. I guarantee this toaster will work when I am moldering in the grave. And hopefully that's a good, 50 years from now when I'm 100 and, no, I don't want to live that long. You'll get an electric cord, which is fine. These babies run off of like 625 watts. You cannot plug this in and then go dry your hair. Let's put it in. Let's plug it in. I can heat my bathroom with this thing. I have just plugged it in. There is no on off. You plug it in and it heats up. You're going to have to look through and see the red glow. Can you see the red glow? And I'm going to unplug this in a minute because I'm going to burn myself. Do you see it glowing red inside? Wonderful. May I please now unplug it? Yeah. That's going to stay hot for 20 minutes. All right. So it's very hot. It does not take long at all. Yes, you have to pull the toast out and flip it, but this is patented in 1914. So this is what they looked like in the 20s. And as I said, completely took it apart, cleaned the chrome, polished it. You get an old electric cord, which is perfectly fine. Just promise me whoever wins, remember what your mother told you, don't touch a hot stove. You got to be right there with it, but it will toast your toast 10 seconds on both sides, depending on how brown you like it. Let's count the toaster down, and I'll put it down so I can show Karen my fingers. I can't hold it up. I'm holding it up by the Bakelite knobs because that's the only thing that's cool. 10. I don't know if there's any questions on it. I didn't see any. 10, 9, and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Now I have to very carefully put this on the floor. Just that 10 seconds of it being plugged in, this baby's cooking. You can do 2 slices of bread, but you have to flip them unless you want it only to be cooked on one side. Okay, yeah, stay down there. That cord is universal, and that'll also work on some of your old percolators as well, although there were 2 different sizes. Oh, I've got some Crystol to sell you. All right, the toaster is on its way. The stop is in. Cheryl Miller has it at 60, and I thank you, Cheryl, with a C. Cheryl. Cheryl Miller. It's yours at 60. We've got 350 people here tonight, and I'm excited to have you here. $20 on a pink console bowl. Let's knock this out. It is pink. It's not crystal. It's not peach. It's pink. It's $20. It's depression glass, but it's elegant because it's got wheel-cut flowers on it. It's what's called a rolled edge. But this one also has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. It's a smaller one. They're usually, well, I often find them bigger than this. This is a nice 10-inch. They're usually 12, sometimes 13. This one is a pretty little 10-inch console bowl, which, again, is pink. A very light, delicate pink color, which is hard for you to see because my ring lights and the lights in here will change the color of pink glass. You can see it's got the typical flowers that we see in the 30s that are etched onto there, that are cut onto there. Factory decorated, and everybody made console sets, and everybody made little center bowls like this. Oftentimes to put a frog in the center, a flower frog. And this is small enough. As a small size, it's not really going to be a big fruit bowl. It's decorative, or to put a flower frog in it, or fill it up with whatever you might be interested in. So $20 on the pink, lovely 1930s console bowl with cut flowers on it. You are welcome, Becky. I'm learning every single day. And every time I learn something, I mess something up. Every time I remember something, I forget something. But I promise you, I don't make things up. I don't guess if I don't know. And I'm always learning. And I learn from you, and I appreciate you learning from me as well. Talk about a hobby that will take you through life, lifelong learning. You just want to study glass, that will keep you busy. We're going to talk about Tiffen in a minute. Nobody's interested in this. Karen, can you get ready with the hard stop for me? And if no one is interested at $20, Karen, we'll give it a couple of seconds, and then Karen, you can throw the hard stop in there, and we'll move on. So I don't see any last call, no interest on the pink console bowl. Karen, you can put the stop in, and if someone bids after the stop, we'll have to bring it back at the end. So yeah, Tiffen is, boy, that is quite a factory. In fact, should we do that? No, let's not do that yet because we might not have time. D, you came in after the stop. We're going to bring it back. We'll bring it back at the end. Heisey Colonial, no, don't do that. Yeah, Heisey 8 sides, Shirley Fostoria. Here is an etch that I have not had before by Fostoria. Come here, Fostoria. You are something else. Give me a second. You start at $20. I'll look, Kathy. This bowl measures, under 12 inches across, stands about 4 inches tall. So this is a Fostoria bowl, and two things. Yes, we recognize that. That's called Baroque. So it's the Baroque shape or blank. The etch is called Shirley. I didn't know that. Took me a while to find it. How lovely. I see chintz all the time, but the Shirley etch, never seen it before. Doesn't mean anything. It's just that I haven't seen it. I think one of the reasons why I don't see as much of the Shirley etch is because it was only produced from 1938 to 1956. 1938 to 1956. The Baroque shape was in the Fostoria catalog from the 30s until they closed. So you can have a shape, right, or a blank with many different etches. And in this case, this pretty bowl made between 1938 to 1956 is given an etch that Fostoria calls Shirley. And you may please call me Shirley. Well, you may please call this Shirley. So this fits in with the elegant the elegant Depression glass era, when the tide started to change. That colored glass, the pink and the green and the yellow and the blue. The lady of the house, by the time we get into the late 30s, they want Crystol again. And comes back very popular. Crystol becomes very popular again in the late 30s, 40s. Those Depression glass colors, the green that everybody loves now, they're not as popular. This is also Fostoria, and that's called Topaz, but that's earlier, that's older than this. The high bid right now is 21, is 25. So we'll count this down. Ms. Jackie has the high bid at 25. Fostoria, nice big bowl. 10, no chips, no cracks, by the way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on the Shirley bowl. And I'm going to check. That time I got it, Kathy. Yes. So Kathy, I have your information and I have your email address for PayPal, and I'm delighted and I thank you so much. Thank you. The stop is in and Ms. Jackie picks up that bowl at 25. Ooh. Do some candlesticks. I love these. These candlesticks start at $25 and they stand 9 inches tall. Now, where are they? Come on now, I just had you. Yeah, all right. You trying to mess me up while I'm live? Oh, there you are. Why do I have wooden candlesticks that start at $25? Because they're antique. Well, let's see them. Okay. And they're from the 20s and they're painted. Look at the paintwork on that. I love these. They're wooden. Whether or not they ever had brass caps inside or not, I don't know. Not all candlesticks did. Look at this, just this one. Look at how delicate the paintwork is. You've got these beautiful polychromed flowers that go all the way down in these lovely baskets. See the baskets? Here, here. I've been doing this a long time. These were made sometime between 1920 and 1930, really 1915 to 1930. You see wooden candlesticks just like this that are painted. And it's not possible for us to say whether this was factory painted or whether these were painted as a home craft. Now, when I say that, it doesn't mean that somebody did this in the 70s. That's the style of the 20s. That basket with the flowers and all these delicate little swags and things, that is the early 20s all day long. And there were cottage industries. Austrian? No, I believe these to be American. There were cottage industries, and usually for women. you would see this in the back of the magazines of those days, the Good Housekeeping, Better Homes and Gardens, House Beautiful, that kind of thing. You know, earn money at home, this little advertisement, you know, decorate lampshades, candlesticks, and you'd get a book in the mail and some paints, and you could decorate things at home. These could have been decorated at home or in the factory. I think they were factory done. The quality of the paint leads me to believe that it was not an amateur that painted these. But do I know that for sure? No. We've got one of these wonderful old gum labels on the bottom. I can't read it, but they're really pretty. So these two painted antique candlesticks dating from about 1915 up to about 1930. And then this delicate paintwork like that starts to fall out of, you don't see it anymore in the magazines and things. It's just not in style anymore. Yeah, the paint is beautiful on there. And I cleaned them and I polished them with a paste wax, and I got all of the little bits of candle wax off of them. And they're lovely. So we'll count them down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on the antique painted wooden candlesticks, which are just delightful. I jumped up and down when I saw those when I was able to buy those. I really did jump up and down. Next up, I've got 2 perfume bottles, I think. I do. I would be... Oh, a new septic system. My word. Christina has our high bid at 80. And Christina, I thank you. I thank you. Starting at 20. $20. Sorry, I'm here. I have 2 matching perfume bottles. Unmarked. Are they Czechoslovakian? They could be. They're not. There's no mark on them. Often they had paper labels. Sometimes they would be acid etched on the bottom. I've seen many examples, and it's tiny. You'll see Czechoslovakia with a very, very slight acid etch on the bottom. Very hard to see. I don't see that on these. Sometimes these were even made in Japan, but it's hard to tell because we don't have any labels or any markings on these. But they're lovely glass, and they're in excellent condition. We'll pull that out and let you see. Must smell good. So we have the design here, and it is smooth on the back. There's the perfume bottle itself, and there is the bottom of it. And I know to go up into the bright, bright light and look for marks on these to see whether they have a Czechoslovakian mark on them, and these are unmarked. But they are in lovely condition for you, these 2 glass perfume bottles. And it's the pair at 20. What time is it? The pair of them at 20. Yes, yes. Beautiful candlesticks. Beautiful candlesticks. Oh, hit refresh, Kathy, so you can get caught up. I do not know the age. These could be anywhere from the 30s into the 60s. They have but they're glass and they're very nice. They're nicely made. And I guess I didn't tell you that they stand just under 7 inches tall. I mean, these bad boys. Woo! Just under 7 inches tall. Okay, so I'm trying to keep track of the bids here. So and also to see if there's any questions on these. So that's what I'm looking for now in the chat. If we've got any questions, I don't see any except how old, and I would say anywhere from the 30s into the 60s. Again, hard to tell without, if they were marked Czechoslovakia, it's very easy for me to figure out, you know, or if they had like an I Rice label on the bottom from Japan, we could date them either before the war or after, but I'll just sell them as decorative, and we'll call them vintage, but not antique. People don't like the word collectible anymore, but I still use it. Collectible is anything that is not an antique. And I think it's a little easier to understand because everybody has a different sort of definition of how old vintage is. So I kind of, anyway, that's about how old I'd say they are. And the high bid is 25. Okay, 10. It's for both of them. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on the 2 perfume bottles. I don't have a problem with collectible, but nobody says collectible anymore. Everybody says vintage, 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 vintage. And the problem with vintage is you think vintage is 20 years old. You think vintage is 60 years old. You think vintage is like, it's too, when we had antique and collectible, antique was 100 years or older. Everything newer than that was collectible. Vintage only meant like vintage clothing or wine. So it seems like the word vintage has taken over and people don't say collectible anymore. But it seemed to me that it was a little more easy, a little more defined when we said, right, vintage is overused and subjective. Sharon, Elaine, I could hug you and go out to dinner with you. The word vintage drives me crazy. But let's not get off on that. And I already did it, so now we're all going to be talking about it. How about we talk about that at the end of the auction? We'll hang around for a while and talk. Can we do that? Let's keep selling, and then we'll talk for a little bit, maybe 5 or 10 minutes about, you know, vintage and antique and collectible. We did the pink console bowl. I don't want to do those. $20. There's the candy dish, and I love it. It's made by the Imperial Glass Company, and it's vintage. No, it's collectible, which means it's not an antique, but it has no chips and it has no cracks. And it does go back to sort of the mid-century era. It's a fine thread. It's glass. And this is a fired on color, which is on the inside. Yeah. Oh, wait, did you call a winner? Oh, on the perfume bottles? Probably not. I think it was Norma Roof. It was Norma Roof at 32, I believe. So Norma at 32 are the perfume bottles. Okay. All right, and then this. is made by the Imperial Glass Company, and it's a candy dish. I love this thing. It's all made of glass, and it has no chips or cracks. And I'm sorry, Karen, this starts at whatever I said. I don't know what I said. This starts at $20. So the fired on paint is on the inside. It's in excellent condition. Yeah. And there's the lid. I love this color. You know, and this is a funny color. You cannot imprison this color in a decade, and we love to do that. Oh, that color is from the 40s. That color is from... Colors don't usually live within the confines of a nice little decade, you know, so it's not like it's immediately popular in 1920 and immediately out of style in 1930. There's fluidity with colors. Yeah. So that's not quite that depression green color that we saw in the late 20s through the 30s into the early 40s. But that color was around in the Depression and for several decades. But Imperial glass, very pretty candy dish without any condition problems. I love it. And I actually am ready for some Easter candy. I don't know about you, but we have to wait a while for that, don't we? When is Ash Wednesday is this week? Reminds you of the Jetsons. Yeah. My leg is much better, and I thank you for asking. It was in bad shape for several days. I appreciate you asking that, Jonathan. Thank you for asking that. Any interest at $20 on the candy dish? If not, we'll move on to something else. Next up, I'm going to sell. Thank you for asking, because that was, ooh, boy, that was a mess. I see the bid now. Norma Roof has a bid of 21. And Kathy Minter had a bid of 20. And then Norma came in at 21 on this Imperial glass, like a thin threaded, almost like cotton candy threads. We'll count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. That would be a nice big sugar bowl. Yeah. Why not? Okay. I don't want to do. All right, let's do it. The stop is in, and the candy dish is on its way to Kathy Minter at 28. Catherine Tate, I believe you came in just after the stop. And so if I didn't miss anything, which I am often want to do with my eyeballs. Okay, Kathy Minter at 28. And thank you. Starting at $12, we have a tiny little calendar from 1912. It's in great condition. It's not missing any pages. We have a dog. We have a ripped off dog ear, or whatever you call that. You paper people know. Down there, a crease there. Look at that owl. 1912, all original. And it starts at $12. It has a delicate little ribbon and a place to hang it from the top. We'll go from the top to the bottom. We've got little colonial sweethearts here. They're actually children dressed up as adults. And then we move down to the calendar. And there's a little crease there. And there's nothing on the back of it. And this starts at $12. I can flip the pages for you very carefully. I love the, I don't know necessarily why there's a hoot owl on the front, but there he sits. And it's just a delicate little, it's an original, you know, not a repro of any kind. And we have every calendar page is in here. Probably something that would be in a bedroom. You know, when you go back and look at old photographs of bedrooms around this era, they were still very fussy, almost still kind of Victorian. Pictures everywhere, you know. And a cute little thing like this might have been in a bedroom, maybe by a vanity hanging, just because you would only need to, you know, I wonder what today is, just sort of peek under there, not something that would be hanging in the kitchen necessarily, but just a beautiful, delicate little calendar. And there it is from 1912. Kathy Wilson has the high bid of 12. And we can go to April of 1912 if you'd like to. I think we know what happened on Sunday night, April the 14th. And if my memory is not failing me, we will go to April the 12th. No, I'm sorry, April the 14th, 15th, which is a Sunday into a Monday. And there it is, the night that the Titanic hit the iceberg. So when we look at there's the month of April, and you can see the 12th, the 14th and the 15th is a Sunday night into Monday. Let's count this little thing down. 10. The high bid right now is 12. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that's it. 2, 1, that's it. 2 Wong Fu, that's it. All right. I have an old Christmas card with a 1929 calendar on it. It says, Robin. The calendar is sold to Rich Tree Hugger. I think I know who you are. Of course I do. For $13. And I thank you. $20. 20. Come here. Where are you? Here you are. Yeah. $20. What is it? This is a Tiffen Franciscan 1930s 3-footed center bowl, console bowl, fruit bowl, display bowl. Yeah. With the coronet etch. No chips or cracks, and it starts at $20. It stands 4.5 inches tall, just over 10 inches across. Across, not acrossed. And that etch is called coronet. C-O-R-O-N-E-T. Now, Tiffen Franciscan, you want to study a glass company? Go read the history of Tiffen. Whew. How do you keep it straight? It's here, it's there, it burns down, it gets bought by this company. It even eventually goes into the hands of the Continental Can Company in the 60s, who got a hold of Hazel Atlas. But it becomes part of the big combine, the United States Glass, and they call it Factory R. They kept the name Tiffen. And even when United States Glass was still operating, even into the early 60s or whatever it was, they kept that Factory R open. It burnt down and they did it again. And they kept the name Tiffen. Tiffen was a known name. See, a lot of the names just disappeared. So they would still refer to this as Tiffen, and you would see it. People knew that name, not Tiffany, but Tiffen. And that factory stayed open for quite some time through all of the changes. And it's a lovely 1930s into the 40s when the Crystol was popular. 3-footed bowl, Franciscan cornet, and this lovely etch, Tiffen cornet etch. I'm bringing some very interesting etches tonight. I've never had the Shirley etch on the Fostoria Baroque, and this is the first cornet. Look at the feet. See, this is all molded. And then the etch is the etch is done in the factories. It's very pretty and very versatile for the center of the table. The high bid is 20 and we're counting it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on that bowl. Oh, they did manufacture cake plates. And our winner on the Franciscan Tiffen Coronet glass center bowl is on its way to Susan Hood at 26. Thank you, Susan. All right, let's take a look at this one. Did I do this one? I didn't write this one down. This is the Paden City. All right, let's do pink console. Let's do this. $20. This is called Heisey Colonial. Okay, so $20. This is a piece of Heisey glass. This pattern is called Colonial. And Colonial typically has wide panels like this. Devoid, there's no etch on it, typically on what companies would call a colonial pattern. And everybody put out a colonial pattern. Sometimes the Chippendale pattern looks a little bit like this. Not a whole lot of fussy embossed anything. Lovely flat panels. This is chip-free and crack-free, and it is marked with the lovely Heisey H on the bottom, and it is a big H, which is hard for you to see, but it's right there. Thank you, clock. Even though you're not telling the right time because your owner didn't wind you correctly. It's 6 inches tall, just over 6 inches tall, and 8 inches in diameter. We know the quality of Heisey glass, and that we'll count this down. The high bid currently is 35, and we'll count the Heisey piece down. The Heisey Colonial, lovely center-footed bowl down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. for that piece of Heisey glass. Ooh. And I have a surprise for our winner, and I'm going to tell our winner what the surprise is. It could be a surprise for them, but it might not be. Anyway, you'll see in a second. I just found Heisey vase at the Goodwill in the colonial pattern. Good for you. And it had these panels. Was it marked with the H? It's not always marked, but sometimes it is. Ollie the Landy is our winner at 45. And Ollie, I've got a question for you. Are you listening? Now, Ollie, this is up to you. Totally up to you. Yes or no. Your choice. Because, Ollie, you win. I got a second one. Do you want two? Same thing. If you want a second one, it's 2 times your money. If you just want one, no worries. I'll put the second one away. Just thought I'd ask. I happen to find two. So you win one. If you'd like a second one, you can let me know, Ollie, since you're the high winner on this piece there, and we have a second one. All right, let's put these back. I'm so glad you found one you'll take a second one. So it's two. I just want you to know, Ollie, they're both marked. Neither one have chips or cracks. They're both in the same very nice condition. There's a straw mark here and there. This is antique Heisey glass, of course. So, you're doing an Easter buffet or something like that. We've got two, and I'll go ahead, since you're a high bidder. I just happened to grab that second one. So we'll do times two, and let me get you written down that both of them will go to you. Okay. I have I don't know, Ollie, thank you so much. I've got another piece of Heisey to sell tonight. I have to tell you, you're welcome, and thank you so much. I need some more of that grapefruit juice. That was good. This, come here. Oh my goodness. All right. Sometimes it's hard to find some of the etches. This is Heisey. All right. This is a Heisey glass bowl, and it starts at $20. I don't know what that etch is. I'm not going to say I couldn't find it. To be honest, I didn't take the time to look it up. So I'm being honest with you. I did not look up that etch. I know it's a Heisey shape because I recognize it. It's also marked. Now, when you get it, you'll say, I don't see any mark. You really need to get into the light, but the Heisey H is right there. All right. And it's 8-sided. The blank, if the etch weren't there, the blank itself is sort of deco influenced because it's these straight lines. But I don't know the name of that etch. It is a Heisey bowl, center bowl, and of course it's a Heisey etch. I couldn't get to my Heisey book. And it is 4-footed. This is fire polished glass. And this, again, this is going to be one of those pieces from the 30s into the early, the 40s. Heisey went out of business in 57. So I just don't know what that etch is. You don't know what the postage is, Candace? I appreciate you asking. You won't know what the postage is until I know what your zip code is, because the postage is based upon how far away you live from where I live in New Jersey. Typically, I can ship a box This would typically go in a 12 by 12 by 8 box, and it costs about $12 to ship it up and down the East Coast and over to the Mississippi. Once we get way out, I can't look that up now, Candace. I'm not able to do that. I appreciate you giving me your zip code, but it just doesn't, I can't do that now. You know, the most expensive places for me to ship to are like way out west. So, and I don't know if that's a California zip code or not, but anyway, something like this to California is like, depends. It can be like 16 bucks, but yeah, I don't know what state if you tell me what state you're in, that'll help me a little bit. But our high bid right now is Rising Phoenix at 26, and we'll count this down. Oh, you're welcome, Candace. I appreciate you asking. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Yeah. You're in San Francisco. I'm in New Jersey. So it would cost more than $12 to ship this to San Francisco, but less than 20 because of the weight. And I know that because I have shipped thousands of boxes. That 8-sided Heisey piece with that lovely etch. Phoenix, you came in just after, I think it would be Susan Hood at 27. I'm glad to have you. Thank you for being here and for being new. That's okay. So 27, and that's Susan. Okay. Let's do this. What time is it? We're going to go a few minutes over. Oh, whatever. Today was, well, let me keep going. Let's do Crystol for a minute. I've got 2 pieces of Crystol. What is Crystol? Well, let's start with this elegant antique butter dish. Wow. This starts at only $19, and it's worth a heck of a lot more than that. Chip free, crack free. Look at that lid. It is marked Crystol, Krys hyphen TOL, not crystal. I don't believe Crystol had lead in it. I don't think it did. It's about the same quality as Heisey. And it has to do with the way it's fired, the way this glass was made. It is very beautiful, elegant glass. And I have a cheat sheet here because I will forget. Whoever wins this, and I've got 2 pieces. I have this picture and this piece here. Right now we're just doing the butter dish. Typically, you'll find this in the Chippendale pattern, which is what we have here, which looks very much like a colonial pattern. This is so beautiful. Now, Crystol glass is a type of early 20th century glass, developed around 1905 by a guy named Benjamin Jacobs. And he was working with Jefferson Glass Company, but more than one company made Crystol, and it was a, the name, yeah, is registered, Krys hyphen TOL. And it'll be marked. And I promise you, you're going to go out to the thrift stores and you're going to start, it's very hard to see, but the word Crystol is right there. It's known, it's pressed glass. It has a high brilliancy and a beautiful clarity. And the companies that made it, and again, it's primarily this Chippendale style, was primarily made by the Ohio Flint Glass Company and Jefferson Glass Company, but also Central Glass Works made it as well. And this piece, we're going to do this second. This one, you can really see the mark. Now, the high bid right now is 42. One of the things that Karen and I learned, and I did not know this, I don't think Karen knew it either, and we both sort of discovered it at the same time. We were reading. I always thought like the word Heisey or Higby or Crystol was part of the mold, but we were reading research through American database of pressed glass that oftentimes that was on the plunger. That makes perfect sense, because the plungers, the glass, the gatherer gets the glass out of the glory hole and hands it over to the next dude, blows it into the mold. They sometimes would pull down this heavy, almost pneumatic or pressurized lever as the plunger. But in the olden days, you just plunged it. And since these words were on part of the plunger, depending on, how the force, you may barely see the word or the word may really show up. We did not know that. Karen and I were both, we love learning new things, and we learned that from reading that on it. I just wanted to share that. Whoever wins gets this information so you know what you're buying, you know what you're getting. Speaking of gathering, as a gatherer, when I was a boy doing some genealogy work on my family, and I was looking up my grandfathers and great grandfathers who worked in the glass industry, my grandfather started, and in the census around 1899, he's listed in the census as a gatherer in a glass house. Now, I didn't know what a gatherer in a glass house was when, I was in my 20s and just starting to learn all of this. But that is an occupation people would have known, especially if you come from a glass town or where there's a lot of glass industry. A lot of young boys would start as gatherers. And, you have to be trained to do that, to get just the right amount of molten glass on that rod to hand it over to either the finisher or whoever's going to blow it. But I took a picture of that. So I always remember that he was a gatherer in a glass house. Now I'm talking too much. Let's count this down. The Crystol butter in this beautiful Chippendale pattern, and it's just beautiful. Can you show how deep it is? Not too deep. Remember, the butter would stand up. It's about maybe an inch deep. Inch and a quarter deep. It's an inch and 1/4 deep. And you can just barely see Crystol. Really study that when you're in those thrift shops, and if you see a piece of clear glass that just jumps off the shelf and everything else looks gray, you look and see you might have a piece of Crystol or Heisey. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on this elegant. Now, that could be a candy dish. This can be anything. False teeth. Why not? Break the rules. And so we'll see. And then next up, we've got a Crystol Chippendale water pitcher we're going to do. And hopefully you'll be able to see, they really plunged this one. You can see the Crystol mark just beautifully. Large head of roasted garlic. The stop is in, and Sandra Norden has the beautiful butter dish at 55. Sandra, I'll include the paperwork with it. I want you to know what it is you've purchased. Sandra. Norden. I started to write down Sandra Harlem because the song that's playing is There's a Rose in Spanish Harlem. And, you know, you take things into your brain and Sandra, you're welcome. Okay, $19. I'm not going to run my mouth on this one. Same thing, Crystol, Chippendale pattern, $19. This is a heavy water pitcher, yeah, for the table. And I want you to look inside, down at the very center of the star. I am going to do my absolute asbestos. And I'm going to put this ruler right under the word. So the word Crystol is right in the middle of that star. I know you're not going to see it, and it makes me mad. I want you to see it. But it's stamped in there, not on the... Can you guys see that? Use guys. I'm just wondering if anybody can see the word Crystol way down on the inside. Right in the middle of the star. See it spelled with a K? You see it? Oh, I'm so glad you see it. Now I want you to look for that. Okay, when you're out there, good. You look for that. In this case, because there's a decorative star on the bottom, that word Crystol was stamped inside the glass. And you can really see it on that one. So there's brilliancy to this. It's just beautiful, beautiful glass. Our high bid right now is, well, I don't know. And I know it's like almost 10 o'clock. The high bid is 31. $10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. I just like playing with it. Oh dear. We're going to do one more console bowl, and then we're just going to see if anybody wants Topaz Versailles by Fostoria. That's a very specific pattern, and it's expensive, so nobody might not want it. Nobody might not want it. Woo! Where did that? My grammar is better than that. Carrie Vaccaro at 35. Carrie, I think I know that name. So I think I might have your information, but Carrie, if I don't, would you shoot it my way? It just, I don't think you've purchased in a while, but that just sounds familiar. Vaccaro. So Carrie, if you forget about eBay, but if you've never bought from me before, from a live sale, would you go ahead and send me all your information? But something tells me that maybe you've purchased before. All right, let's do another bowl, if we may. Why not? Oh, you know what? I don't know. Let's bring this back real quick. 20 bucks. And then I've got this wonderful Payton City crow's foot. Look at the sterling overlay on that. But I know there was a bid that had come in after the stop on this, and we'll just see. So it's a 10-inch rolled edge console bowl. This is from the 1930s. And it is pink, regardless of what it might look like on your screen. It's pink, and it starts at 20. Excuse me. It's chip-free, crack-free, rolled edge with emery cut flowers on it, wheel cut flowers here. I love that it's small enough to go in a 12 by 12 by 8 box. You know, there's a lot that goes on up here when I'm shopping. What kind of box does it go in? What does it weigh? So $20 on the pink rolled edge console bowl. We're bringing this back. Okay. Counting it, PA Buzzard has the high bid of 20, and we'll count this down. I was going to move on, but we'll go ahead and count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7. Glad you said pink. Looks, nope, it's pink. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Yeah, they always remind me of jellyfish too. That hovering jellyfish. Yeah, I haven't said that in a while, but I love that. And when they're on the table, these points, they just like a quarter of an inch, they hover over the table without touching it. All right, now you behave down there with the toaster. That is on its way to PA Buzzard at 20. That's that pink, you stink. Okay, PA Buzzard. Now, I think the last thing, look at this Paden City crow's foot. This starts at 20, and this has the Sterling Mark, which is the company that does the decoration. This again is a 1930s. I'm really rocking the console bowls. This has some scratches in the bottom of it. Why, I do not know. But I want you to see that somebody scratched it right there. So that may hold it back some. Down there in the bottom, right there, just in the bottom. It's not chipped or cracked or scratched anywhere else. But this is, oh, I love that you're putting together a watermelon set. That is terrific. You can see here the blank, this pattern here. This is what Paden City called crow's foot. Now, the word sterling will appear because this then went, and the word sterling is right there. I know it's hard to see it, but right there you'll see the word sterling. And the decoration was then put on. And this is all beautiful, thick, heavy overlay in silver. And it is beautiful. Now, I'm going to continue to turn it around. And again, the only defect is that for some reason, somebody got in there and just scratched it down here on the inside bottom of it. This is, the crow's foot was a 30s pattern. You would find it in red and other colors, blue. I know they did cobalt. I know they did a beautiful dark red color. But here it is in crystal. I'm not holding it still enough, am I? And it's a lovely bowl. And the silk is very thick, the way this is put on. And I polished this. Very easy to do. I already polished it, Judy. That's why it's so beautiful and silver. It wasn't black when I got it, but it was gray. Polished it up in a second. Beautiful. Yep. The high bid is, we don't have a bid. Yes, we do. Rising Phoenix at 20. Okay, counting it down. 10, 9, 8. Oh, can the scratches be polished out? I wouldn't mess with it. I mean, this isn't worth the money that it would cost you to polish those scratches out, in my opinion. And you would really need somebody who knows what they're doing, because you can't just go and get yourself a nail file and try to polish those out. You probably cause more damage. But you might have a, please show Fostoria stems. Okay, Patsy, I will. 10, 9, thank you for asking. 8, throw some fruit in it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. I think you have to reheat it. You have to heat or know what you're doing to polish that out. But I'm not gonna. I'll just leave it the way that it is. I don't have anywhere to. I'm gonna have to sleep in this chair. Okay. That goes to. Oh no. I know it's already 7 minutes after 10, so I'll show these Fostoria stems, and then we don't need to have the discussion unless you guys want to talk about it. Fill it with, okay. The stop is in, and Rising Phoenix came in after. Susan Hood came in at, wait, give me just a second. Susan is our winner at 22. Susan Hood. Susan, you're going to be, you're going to be getting several. You know how I pack. I put as much as I can safely in 12 by 12 by 19. And I can usually, so it really just depends on the, all right, we're going to finish with this. I don't know if we've got anyone, this is a very specific pattern, and but these are chip free and crack free. I'll tell you what I've got. These are, I have, well, let's do it this way. I've got 4. These are the Versailles Topaz Fostoria stems, Topaz bowls, Crystol stems. These are water goblets, not wine. Drink whatever you want out of them. But when they were manufactured as water goblets. I have 4 of those, and I've also got 4 of the matching Versailles Topaz. This is a slash tall sherbet slash champagne. And I have 4 of these. They are paper thin, absolutely perfect. Unbelievable. Not a chip or a flea bite anywhere. I don't know if we have folks that are into this pattern. I've only got 4 and 4. And that pattern was manufactured from 1929 to 1936. So there ain't a lot of it out there. 1929 to 1936, the Fostoria. Anyway, we'll just see. Let's try it. It's $55. We're starting out at $55 for the 4 water goblets. And we'll see if we have an opening bid at $55 for the 4 water goblets. They're not pink, they're topaz, which is a yellow, it's the color that Fostoria called their sort of a yellow color. It's a very delicate, very pretty yellow color. I don't know sometimes if you hold it back or hold it forward, but you can see there as I turn it. It's a very pretty yellow color. And these are the tall water stems. And, you know, these are like $39 each on replacements. But things are expensive on the replacements site. They're 8.5 inches tall. I couldn't believe that they weren't flea bitten. And they're not. So we do have interest. Rising Phoenix has a bid of 58, which is the high bid. So Phoenix, it would be 4 of the topaz as they were manufactured water goblets. Again, Fostoria stems manufactured from 1929 to 1936. 1929 to 1936. We'll count down. It is kind of a deco stem. We'll count the water goblets down, and then we'll do the champagnes. The high bid right now is 58, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. You know what song just came on the radio? 1 ton tomato. 1 ton tomato. No, it's Guantanamera, I think, but I like singing 1 ton tomato. That's what I thought they used to say. Guantanamera. 1 ton tomato. I need a 1 ton tomato. 1 ton tomato. We could do a whole show on. All right, let's sell these first, and then we'll talk about 1 ton tomatoes. The Versailles topaz Fostoria stems manufactured from 1929 to 1936. The 4 water goblets are sold at 75 to Rising Phoenix. And I thank you, Rising. I hope I got that right. Let us now do the 4. These also start at 55 and have 4 of these. You're just looking at 2. The others are safe in a display in a china cabinet. No flea bites on these. Beautiful fire polished. This is the beginning of the colored glass era. It was the elegant companies that got there first in the late 20s, and they started experimenting with color. And so we have the topaz bowl, and you can see the deco influence. So this is after 1925. These were introduced in 1929. But these tall sherbets are $55, and there are 4 of these as well. Tall sherbets or champagnes. And you can see on the table, this is lovely. So you could certainly have wine in these. This could be a cordial, it'd be a big cordial, but also, you know, originally manufactured as water, champagne, or tall sherbet. We'll count the remaining stems down in this lovely Versailles pattern. 10. The high bid right now is 70, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And I think that is going to be it, because we ran over tonight. And I know some of you need to go. Have gone to bed, and I don't blame you. We'll see who our winner is. Out to Rising. Okay, they're going to stay together. Rising Phoenix has those. And I thank you so much, Rising Phoenix. At 70, the 4 champagne sherbets. That'll wrap it up, because I don't think I've got, there's some other things here, but we'll call it quits because we're after, we're already at 10:15. My goodness. Well, here we are. I certainly hope that you all enjoyed your Valentine's weekend, no matter what you did. And I appreciate you spending Monday nights with me. I have been absent from YouTube videos. I simply have not been able to find that much. But as I said, I think as the weather improves, there should be more donations and I should be able to get out. Well, I haven't stopped shopping. I just haven't been finding as much as I would like to. But thank you for coming tonight and sharing your Monday evening with me. Next Monday, good grief. Is that the last Monday night in February? So Patrick will be with me, the trusty huckster. He and I will be together here next Monday night, and we've with the not so unbreakable Unbreakables live sale next Monday night. My leg is better, and I thank you so much for asking. It was really bothering me because it was on a bad spot where it was injured, but I'm hopping around now, doing just fine. And thank you for asking that. I found a Heisey butter dish without the lid for $2 at a thrift store. Good for you. Now, Joan, was it marked with the H? Or did you memorize the shape? Thank you, Elena. I appreciate that. You learned that you own a pair of Crystol candlesticks. Now, how did you think? Did you turn them upside down and you see Crystol? Yes, round of applause. I don't want to forget Karen. Karen, thank you so much. You worked late tonight. And I have to tell you, everybody, I'm going to ask around. See, I can find out things as a YouTube channel owner that you might not be able to find out, because we have a special studio that we can go to and we can chat. And I will go in and say, "What's up?" I had a lot of people screaming about commercials. I will see what I can find out officially, not what somebody said, not what I think or not what I heard, but I will do a live chat with somebody at YouTube and say, what's going on with these commercials? I'll try to find out for you. A good night, Rising Phoenix, and thank you so much. My leg was impaled by a very sharp pointed thing, not a fondue fork. And it broke the skin and it was bad. Well, I'm sorry that the ads were annoying. Again, as you know, I don't control them. I have nothing to do with it. And yeah. So there are always going to be some ads. That's just kind of the way commercial, enterprises like this work. But why there were extra ads tonight, I'll try to find out, but I don't know. Don't know. Lots of fun. Well, thank you so much, DB. Maybe a video on collectible versus vintage. Yeah, I don't know. I guess. Oh, I'm glad it's better too. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that. But thank you for asking. I try to keep it positive. And but the reason I had said something before, I think in a live, is because I was delayed. I was off of it for like 2 or 3 days, and I could not get those packages out in the mail. But I have got things in the mail now. Of course, today was a what do you call it? Crucible, let me address. Crucible says, in all the time I've watched you, there were never ads interrupting the sale, just saying. Well, I understand that, but it's not anything that I'm doing. I have no control over it, just saying. So I need you to understand that, because it kind of sounds like, they're there. Again, as I said, if you don't like ads, you can pay to not see them. I pay to not see them, but I did not go in and insert any ads. I didn't put anything in there. Just saying. And I will see if I can find out why they have all of a sudden, increased. Maybe because I got more subscribers. I don't know, but I'll try to find out. Oh, my word. Oh, good night from Arkansas. Arkansas. What else was it? Now I can't remember. So I'll see you next Monday night for I'm with Patrick again next Monday night. I think that's it. Okay, that's good. Just clearing it up, because sometimes just saying kind of sounds like but I didn't put them in there. Crucible, so you're good. We're all good. Yeah, I pay not to have them, because that's all I watch. Is I don't have anything else. I don't pay for anything else. I'm not saying that you should, but because everybody spends the money the way they want. But I don't have what do you call it? I think I maybe did the subscription about 5 years ago when I sort of unplugged from cable, because Comcast was just in Philly was just way too expensive, and I don't watch regular TV, so I didn't want to do any subscriptions to anything. But they've done something. YouTube has done something. They changed the shield from a wrench to a shield for the moderators. And they started putting numbers after everybody's names. So they've probably changed something with the way advertisements work. And we'll all have to just figure it out and deal with the learning curve. You do, Sandra? Yeah, I do as well. Mm-hmm. Oh, I also wish to all of you who observe Ash Wednesday and the upcoming Lenten season that it be a meaningful one for you. We're getting ready to Easter's early this year, so we're getting ready to enter the Lenten season on Wednesday. And I guess if you don't want to talk about it, if there's nothing else we want to talk about, we'll say toodles. The inside of 30th Street Station in Philly is way better, though, Art Deco wise. Yeah, I did a lot of filming. In fact, I never made the video out of it, Karen. But I have filmed in there before, and was just there a couple of weeks ago, because when I went to Manhattan, I went from the 30th Street Station, and it is very Art Deco. The light fixtures, oh my gosh. It's just one of those beautiful 1930s, early geometric deco train stations. 30th Street Station. I love 30th Street. Good night, Sarah. So, should we call it quits? Oh my goodness, I guess we should, because I'm going to start yawning. Woo. Karen is probably like, yeah, let's call it quits. Okay, we'll call it. No, I didn't. I had a nurse look at it, and I could have had 2 or 3 stitches put in it, but I said, no, just wrap it. I was out when it happened, and I said, wrap a paper towel around it, put some duct tape around it, and I'll be fine. It's healing just fine. Have an awesome week. Okay, so let's say goodnight from all of the places from where you are from. Excuse the preposition right at the end of the sentence. Good night from Camden County, New Jersey. Give me your city or your town and your state. Good night from the middle of Tennessee. I love to see where you're from. Where are you from? Fort Collins, Colorado. Ontario, Canada. We love you, Canada. Hermit, California, or Hairnet, California. Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. Lovely place. Salem, Ohio. Lynn, Massachusetts. Toodle y'all from Binghamton, New York. Is it Minot? Is the T silent? Maine. Bristol, Tennessee. Hartford, Connecticut. Not Hartford, Connecticut. Hartford County, Maryland. Bergen County, New Jersey. Thank you, Edgar Bergen. Hayward, California. Simsbury, Connecticut. Conway, Arkansas. Disney World. What you doing in Disney World? Florida Golden. Are you at Epcot? The middle of nowhere. Mountain Grove, MO. Morrisville, North Carolina. West Hartford, Connecticut. Where else? Nowhere else? Okay. All right. Good night. See you next week. Oh, here they come. Oh, wait, we don't. Belchertown, Massachusetts? Betchlertown, not Belch. I'm sorry. Belchertown, Massachusetts. Des Moines, Iowa. Lawton, Oklahoma. Is that Northeast Kansas? Florida Girl and Sidekick love Disney World. That's Manahawkin, New Jersey. That's at the shore. We do. Yes, we do, KW. Okay, all good night and thank you. Well, thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. Good night.